4 or 5 of us here. It was a main 10-cent store back in those days, you know, like the dollar store is today, but it was a 10-cent store. Murphy's 10-cent store. She went to the store and she bought a ring. And brought it to her house, and when on our next date, she gave me that ring. And she says, I want you to wear this ring, and every time you look at it, you think of me, because in the middle of the ring, about the size of a pinhead, was a ruby. And it was made out of just plain old metal. Turn my finger green, I'd have to clean my finger every once in a while. My finger turned green from sweat or water or whatever. So she gave me that ring, and off we go to the Marine Corps. It worked. I don't know anything about psychology, but it worked. Every time I look at that, oh, I'll be good. I'm not going to do anything. So, a fellow by the name of Vernon Waters, he was my assistant. Now, I want you to imagine this. I'm 5'6". He's 6'6". I can stand and count every hair on his nose. Vernon and I were sitting in the tent one day, and we're probably talking about home and all the, things that we miss. And his daddy had given him a ring before he went to the Marine Corps. But Vernon and all the men in the family, he had 3 brothers and dad, and all the men in the family, these 2 fingers in the middle were growing together. The ladies, he had some sisters, but that didn't happen to them. It just happened to the men folk. So he had to wear his ring that his daddy gave him on this finger. Well, it was this finger. He wore it on the left finger. Well, you can imagine World War II, a guy wearing a ring on that finger. Oh, he took a lot of ribbing, Because nobody wore rings except on that finger. So, anyway, we're sitting there talking and about home, and one or the other of us said, if anything happens to me, I want you to get this ring, and I'll use myself. Give this ring back to Ruby. He said, okay. If anything happens to me, I want you to give my ring back to Dad. Okay, we shook hands. My day, when you shook hands on something, it was a bond. You're going to live up to it. You're not going to break that promise. On August the 6th, on Iwo Jima, we were in battle. Vernon went running by me. I had just been hit with a piece of shrapnel, and Vernon went running by me. And just a few yards in front of me, a mortar hit him and instantly killed him. I ran to him, or at least I got to him to see if he was still living, and he wasn't. But when he fell forward. And there's this ring on his finger. It is a court-martial offense to take anything off of a Marine's body. But we had made that bond. I tried to pull the ring off, and it just wouldn't come. So I spit on it, and finally worked it off. And when I did, we'd been there for 2.5 years, and it was just as white as snow under that ring, because the sun had never hit that. I picked up some sand and rubbed on it to try to camouflage it. That didn't work. So I spit in my hand and made some mud and put that on it. That did cut the shine down of the point. I put the ring in my pocket and went on. When I got back to Guam, I wrote the folks a letter and said that I have the ring. I'm not going to put it in the mail for fear that somebody might get it. I will bring it to you when I get home. When I got home, I married almost as soon as I got home to that beautiful lady that I'd been engaged to all the time. We didn't know how we were going to get to Montana, northern Montana, just right next to the Canadian border. Didn't have any money, didn't have any car. But we're going to get there. We decided we're going to take a bus. A friend sort of took over as my father when I came home. Mine died when I was young. He had a 1942 Dodge convertible, red. Tires were bald on it, but he couldn't get tires during the war. But he said I could use that car if I wanted to deliver that grain. So my wife and I took off. We had a couple flaps on the way. Back in my day, you fixed your own flat. Had tire tools and pump and patch and everything else. I delivered that grain to the Waters family. You would have thought I was delivering one of the most precious things in the world. Because that was even more part of him than his Marine clothes and effects that they had received after his death. That was part of us. I'll never forget that occasion. That bond again that we talked about. Thank you very much.